that you made. That's a bed that you made.
Aye, Katie, let's go.
All hell King Darius.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's a bed that you laid.
What kind of game is you playing?
What kind of game is you playing?
We go hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
What the fuck is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it.
I only go where they pay.
What kind of game is you playing?
What kind of game is you playing?
Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons out closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping mollies. I'm so intelligent, my honesty turned into philosophy. I go hard in the paint, the harder I play. Nigga, I'm like Harden on James, a problem to face. I don't wear my heart on my sleeve, just look in my eyes. Nigga, you can do what you need, I do what is right. I don't fucking want what you have, just look at your life. Nothing about it sacred to me, it's out of my sight. That just means it's out of my mind, it's not worth the fight. Nigga, yeah, I'm out of my mind, I'm out of my mind. Hey, you did what you did.
Yeah, you do what you did.
Give a fuck about intentions.
Don't give a fuck about intentions.
You can watch what I do.
You can watch what I do.
Just stay the fuck out my mentions.
Stay the fuck out my mentions.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's a bed that you laid.
What kind of game is you playing?
What kind of game is you playing?
Hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
What is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it.
I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing?
Hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing?
Hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
What is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it.
I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing?
Hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
Yeah. Never dispose of the pen, I'm at it again. We close to the end, the older I get, emphatic I am. They try to pretend, they try to be friend, wreak havoc instead. Look at the trends, can't comprehend my dramatic ascent. I'm heavenly sent, they try to condemn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the man. Yeah, different vision but the same goes. Big collision off the main road, that's the beaten path where my brain goes. Fuck the devil's wrath off my halo. Hella stones, no Thanos. Hella gold, no rainbow. This is hella genius in my brain lobes. Hella gross as far as revenue goes. Bought me a net for these Benjamins though. You not a threat, you an enemy though. Broke me a sweat, killing enemies slow. Body offset, all these feminine flows. Hardly upset, but you testing me though. All of these stats are depressingly low. Why your girl think I'm a specimen though? Drones and them perks is my medicine though. There's no comparison, black in America, little too arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't mention it, that's royal etiquette. Out of my element, way too intelligent. Grab you a therapist, send in my sentiments. Neck full of sediments, cop me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Drop the investment in Silicon Valley. All this cake, but I'm missing the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami. Drums are so loud that they breaking the chassis. King of the grass like I'm Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors at labels is testing.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3225 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in Zahrel. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, Beaches, Booshes? Busses, Hustles, and your host, your boy Papa Swolio, back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you
fucking Catalina
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
All right, fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 3225, March the 5th. Thanks for being here. We got a morning swole, but we usually go morning swole, and we're going to start going early morning swole again. So welcome back, everyone. Wake up, rise, and gain with your boy Papa Swolio and the SwoleFam. Hashtag GTTFG in the comments for a chance to win today's Swole card. And we are going to jump right into today's episode and get into some more of those SwoleFam posts. So drop that hashtag in the comments down below. Just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, SwoleFam posts. Let's kick it off. We got a few more responses to the Swole text I send out on Monday. When you don't feel like training or if things aren't going your way, what do you tell yourself to stay disciplined and keep moving forward? Aaron says, when this happens, I remind myself that it does happen, but I did not set out my clothes and club or mace the night before to wake up and not go. Also, my yoga mat is always at the foot of my bed as a reminder of when I do my yoga, or if I'm able to do it before bed. By the time I finish my training or recovery flows, I'm grateful for all outcomes, as a good day starts with good training sessions, yoga club, or weights. Jen says, I get my ass up, especially on the days where I don't feel like it. Accomplishing my gym time sessions in the early morning has and will always be the only way I can get it done. I live such a busy life that if I wait till later, that will never come, because by that time I'm exhausted from everything else. Patience is key when it comes to getting the results I want. I may not see huge changes, but you best believe that I take pride in my baby muscles and the way I'm starting to look again. Things will always happen that will try and make us stray away from taking care of ourselves, but the habits and discipline overcome all that once you've been doing it for a while. Last week, we were all under the weather, and that was torture for me, but I kept telling myself that it would pass, and it did. So obviously, back to the gym after I drop off my daughter at school today. Good stuff. That's fire. How come this is still on the screen? All right. There we go. Excellent. Now it's switching. All right. Lisa says, I just remind myself I am where I am from not being consistent. I set my alarm even when I wake up before it, I set it for the time I want to start getting ready, but I keep it across the room, so I have to physically go shut it off if I do sleep in. Ah, savage. Put your alarm across the room. Oh, that's an early morning trek. Ryan says, good morning. Not moving forward isn't an option, so I don't have to tell myself anything. Aha, I like it. A good way to end it. A good way to end it on the post. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, fam. If you're still coming in, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. Let's get into a little bit of knowledge cock. I'm going to load up TikTok live. Maybe we'll get some live questions that aren't retarded. So drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And we'll get to some of your questions in the comments. We got a few from Instagram. And of course, earlier this week, we dropped some new yoga inside the SwoleNormous app. You could join over at SwoleNormousX.com. SwoleFlow. I guess we have those too. Slow Flow number 4 Express with Alex. We also have a brand new masterclass on hyperextensions, banded hyperextensions. So you could find that right on your homepage in the SwoleNormous app. And of course, we dropped some Don't Be a Chode merch. That's fire. So go check it all out. PapaSwolio.com. We got 20% off the entire site. So give that a look if you're in the neighborhood for some new nip covers. All right, drop your questions in the comments down below. Let's get into, where are the questions? They're on the other side of the browser. Excellent. Chris says, love Rise and Swole. This and Swole After Dark are the only times I can really catch the stream when it's live. Well, get used to it. We'll be back here again. Let's see, today's Wednesday, probably early tomorrow also. Probably all week. All right, let's get into some questions. Here we go. First one from Just Leave a Message on Instagram, Papa Swolio. I'm currently just starting out in the gym. Any tips on how to keep disciplined and focused? This is an old question. We did this yesterday. Let me see. All right. Did that not load up maybe? Oh, yeah. Okay, so those didn't. Cool. All right, so I clicked open, but then it just opened up the old ones. All right, so this one, good. We don't have to do that one yesterday because that was a lazy question. How do you stay disciplined and focused? You go and you do it. You set up good habits. Pretty simple stuff. All right, here we go. Levi Houston 362. Papa Swolio, how can I train arms to make them bigger with only one dumbbell? I feel like we've gotten this. We get a lot of questions. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. For the podcast. So we get a lot of questions. A lot of these just seem like maybe it's the same one. Maybe it's another one comes back around. How can I train arms to make them bigger with only one dumbbell? You're not going to. If you have literally one dumbbell, you're going to adapt to that dumbbell and then that's going to be it. You can try to do more reps with it, but after a certain point, you don't want to be doing 20, 30, 40 repetitions of curls with a 15-pound dumbbell. So depends on how heavy that dumbbell is. Depends on how heavy that dumbbell is. Why am I flagged on TikTok for hate speech? All right, I'm shutting down TikTok. You guys are immature and you can't handle. I'm shutting it down. If you're going to flag my account, I'm not going to do live streams. So shut that down. Cool. Okay. Yeah, hate speech. Violation for what? I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say retarded yet. So fuck TikTok. All right, one dumbbell. That's retarded. Go to the gym. Get 2 dumbbells. Dev Singh Tomar 07. Sir, can you tell me exercise for belly fat? Stop eating garbage. Boo Boo the Kid. Papa Swolio, what is the best hour to do an intensive weights workout? Anytime, but earlier in the day is better. Morning or earlier in the day. You don't want to do it late at night. I'm not a fan of night workouts. I don't recommend people do it. Nathan the Bull. Papa Swolio, thoughts about boxing being your workout? Boxing's boxing. It's definitely not lifting weights. It's definitely not strength training. So there's nothing wrong with boxing, but it's cardio. Okay. So I would personally recommend spending your time, if you're going to do training like that, do martial arts, do jujitsu or judo or something that's really much more functional. Boxing's fine too for striking, but you want to lift weights. Make sure you're lifting weights. I think that should be the priority. But of course, you might really love boxing. Okay, so lift weights to help you with that, but understand that whatever you train, that's what you're prioritizing. So boxing, I'm not interested in a workout. I'm interested in training. Are you training to be a boxer? Okay. Again, what are you doing? What's the stimulus and what are the adaptations that your body is going to adapt into? Okay. So thoughts about boxing being your workout, the same as cross-country skiing. Those are my thoughts. What are you trying to do here? If you're doing cardio, fine. That's fine if you're doing cardio stuff. All right. St. Louis Trash Man, are kettlebells, Papa Swolio, more for cardio or can you build muscle over time with it? You can build muscle with kettlebells. You can build muscle with any kind of weights, resistance, but kettlebells are not primarily for building muscle. Kettlebells are mobility, they're power, endurance. So it's definitely more for cardio in general, but you can lift a heavy kettlebell and do heavy kettlebell swings for 5, 6, 10 reps. It doesn't have to be cardiovascular, but they are great for cardio. And if you're trying to optimize muscle growth, I would not personally choose kettlebells. If you want to optimize building muscle, no one on the planet is going to say, if you want optimal muscle growth, do kettlebells. It's just not true. That's why pro bodybuilders don't. And I'm not saying pro bodybuilders are the epitome of health, but obviously they're taking anabolic steroids, but their goal is to put on as much muscle as possible. So the stimulus they're going to be using is going to be something that's going to result in muscle being built. So there's a reason why kettlebells aren't used. It's just because it doesn't mean you can't use a kettlebell and lift it like a weight in terms of a bodybuilding type tempo, but they're just not primarily for building muscle. They're great for joints. They're great for a lot of things. It's a tool, right? Same thing with machines. Or machines better than free weights? They're both great. They're both great. In fact, the most stable exercise is going to be the best for building muscle. Mark Papasolia, why do you think we as a culture made it acceptable to have excuses and no execute more? Why excuses are so prevalent? I think it's a component of the same thing like everything else, communism and Marxism and helicopter parenting and ultra libtard mindsets where nothing you can do is wrong. You're beautiful and perfect just the way you are. Everyone else is mean. Safe spaces. Because what are excuses? It's pretty much an insult to yourself. It's eroding your own integrity. And if you don't have any moral framework, then you come out with bullshit like, well, there's no, foods are not good or bad. There's no morality to food. And you get that kind of Marxist victimhood, marginalized trash. So are there moral values to food? If you're looking at a food, is that good or bad? Absolutely. Of course it is. If it's garbage poison, it's not good for you. You're trashing your body. You're by proxy disrespecting your body. And then you're lying to yourself about it. So there's a lot of these components where we're actually leveraging or we're allowing for people that complain to have power. And the more you complain, the more power you have. The more complaints or the more victim points you have, the more power you have. Obviously, that's abruptly come to an end. But definitely the goal is to destroy your enemy completely. So you can't be nice about it. You got to keep your boot on the neck and stomp this out of society because it is a poison. It's a toxin. And unfortunately, it's been wreaking havoc for the last decade and really peaked over the last 4 years. So all that stuff is garbage and it infects everything, as you've seen. Excuses is just being a victim. You're just victimizing yourself. You're giving yourself a reason or trying to justify why you didn't do something you should be doing. That's what an excuse is. Joe Papasolia, is there a good at home with dumbbells, bands, or a bench to a leg extension or a leg curl? Still building my home gym and skipping leg day is not an option. Well, you could do sissy squats. Sissy squats for quads and for leg curls. Not really. Not really. I guess you could use bands. You could use dumbbells. I mean, there's ways to do it. You can put a dumbbell between your feet. It's just going to be hard to load. But you could do Jefferson curls and stiff leg deadlifts and RDLs for glutes, adductors, and hamstrings. So you can do great exercises with dumbbells or a barbell and get the posterior chain. So you could do good mornings. You could do Jefferson curls, like I mentioned. In terms of an actual curling movement, I guess if you had a monkey foot or something where you can actually do the curl. But aside from that, I guess you could get a roller or use a ball. It's just not the same. It's not the same as the quality of a sissy squat. Sissy squats are great. Sissy squats are great. I did sissy squats 2 days ago on the hack squat machine. So I still like doing those. Even if with the hack squat, you could do it body weight. You could do it with dumbbells. You can do it holding onto a bench. Is it because I said retarded questions? No, I said that before the stream went live. Unless it picked it up as it was loading up. I said it before it went live. Because don't forget, when it comes to hamstrings, when you're doing a curl, when you're doing a seated or a prone curl, what you're doing is you're really activating, or you're getting the hamstring portion that crosses the knee joint. So you're getting the short head. If you want to get the hip extension components of the hamstrings, you could do stiff legs or 45-degree hypers with a weight. So you maybe have a 45-degree hyper machine, or you could set that up, but that's similar to doing stiff legs. But if you want to do the short head or get the short head of the biceps femoris, you need to get some sort of knee flexion going. So you put your feet up on one of those big inflatable balls, and you can do curls like that. It's just hard to overload, because after that, you're not really going to overload. Mohitwabi, Papa Swolio, tips on staying fit while traveling. I spend 90 days at a time traveling and I lose gains. There's tons of gyms around the country, or wherever you live. There's got to be gyms. So, I mean, travel, go to a gym. People always ask this question, how do I, when I'm traveling, I don't know how you're traveling. Depends on a plane, on a train, on a car. I feel like it's Dr. Seuss. Lift weights. A lot of gym or hotels have gyms. I mean, a lot of times they suck, but if you're in the United States, for example, I don't know if this person's in the United States, but if you are, go to a Planet Fitness, go to LA Fitness, get a national membership, get a day pass, and go and prioritize it. A lot of times there's small gyms too. You can go and just pay for a day, 10, 15, 20 bucks for a day pass, and go train. It's like tips on staying fit while traveling. The same things. The same things you would do at home, you need to do when you're traveling. You can travel and go to gyms and provide the stimulus and then still eat quality foods. Go to the fucking gym, right? If you're traveling to another state, that other state has gyms too. Either it's your priority or it's not. Hey, I travel. How do I stay in shape? That's your problem already, right? I know people ask me because they want to hear my answer, but tips on staying fit. If you have to ask me, you're probably not going to. Do you really need to ask me, what are tips to stay fit while traveling? Do you really need, is that really even a question you have to ask? If you're lifting heavy weights in the gym and then you're traveling and you bring a little set of bands with you, you're not going to be making progress with that. You're not going to be making progress. If you're loading up tons of weight and you bring some bands, cool. You might do a little bit activation, get a little pump, feel good. You're not progressively overloading. You're not making gains. You can go for a walk or do some yoga, right? But unless you're progressively overloading, unless you're doing more than you did last time and you're, challenging your body and trying to push it, and then you're not going to be making progress per se. You can still be physically active and move and do yoga. But if you're lifting heavy weights, you're focusing on building muscle, and then you travel and then you decide to, how can I maintain that without doing it? You're not, because you're not doing the thing you were doing. There's nothing to maintain. Doing bands in a hotel room is not going to match what you do in a gym with heavy barbell and leg press. It's just not. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean doing that won't make you feel good. I'm not saying it's not worthwhile, because physical activity is good for your heart. But you can go for a walk. You can do some cardio and stuff. Might make you feel good, but you have to be realistic. If you do something completely different than you're normally doing, then you're not going to be providing the same overload stimulus. Michelle says, when I traveled for work, I was able to pick the hotel I stayed in that was next to an Anytime Fitness. Well, solid. Let's do fuck TikTok. I was trying to be nice. Let's load up Instagram and see if anyone wants to come on and ask some questions. Last chance. Last chance to ask some questions. Drop in the comments. Chris, you have a lot of patience for stupid questions. I guess I just I don't entertain them in the same respect. But my wife lost almost 60 pounds since July 1st, 2024 with carnivore. People ask her if she did shots or if she gave up soda and junk. She quit answering them. Well, there's a lot of stupid people in the world, so stupid people are going to ask stupid, lazy questions. And I guess I have a lot of patience. I don't really think so. Not anymore. I could try and pretend to have patience for lazy questions. But I've asked a lot of lazy questions, and lazy questions are usually coming from people that are lazy, that aren't going to do anything when you tell them the answer. So I've learned, even though I do a show and we have Swolenormous X and I encourage people to go to the fucking gym, I really don't care anymore. I haven't for a long time. I don't like you can do, I care if you care. So what I'm doing is I'm shouting into the void, hoping someone gives a fuck about their health. And if you're into it, then I'll give you some more information. And I will guide you all, answer your questions. I'm fine. I'm fine helping people. This is what I do. But I'm not going to entertain laziness and people that are not going to invest their time. I'm not going to talk to someone for 2 hours. I've done this in the past. You know, you talk and I give them all the information like, oh, okay. And then you see them a little bit later eating a bag of chips or like, oh yeah, well, I just got tired of it. It's a waste of time. I'm not wasting my energy, my limited life on people that don't care. You have to put in some work. So someone that asks, hey, what are some tips on staying fit while traveling? If you need to ask me what are some tips to stay fit while traveling, then you don't care. You don't need what tips to stay fit while traveling? What the fuck do you think you need to do? The same shit you do when you're not traveling. I'm in a different place. What should I do? Find a gym. Lift heavy fucking weights. I'm traveling. If you want something more than anything and you're going to prioritize it and you're disciplined, you don't have to ask me that question. You're going to figure it out. You can't figure out getting a day pass to going to a gym. You can't figure out how to eat something that isn't poison to your body, then you don't care. And if you don't care, I don't care. That's right, Chris. They never intended to do it in the first place. They want to hear a simple answer like, oh, you'll be fine, or here's some magic tip when you're traveling. It's just easy. It's not easy. You have to prioritize it. If you're traveling, you're going to have to go to a gym. So you have to bring stuff so you can go to the gym and shower afterwards. If you have work, if you're traveling for work, if you're driving, even better. You can plot out gyms on the way, and maybe you're traveling overnight and you're in a truck and stuff like that. And maybe you can stop and train for an hour, or you bring a kettlebell or a mace in the truck and a yoga mat and some bands, and you pull off at a truck stop and you do some exercise. Like, do it. You do it. What do you want to happen? Cool. Do the things that will get you there. How do I work out when I'm somewhere else? Figure it out. Figure it out. Most of these people don't really care. They just want to hear an answer, or they want to hear someone pat them on the back and tell them that's going to be okay. And it'll be just fine if you want to stay the same. It'll be just fine. You don't have to change. You don't have to change. If you want to live a fulfilled life, if you want to improve your health, then yeah, you got to change your shitty habits. But if you don't want to change, then stay the same. Like, it doesn't matter if everyone here is like, I'm not going to the gym. Cool. I'm still going to do it. I'm not eating that. I'm not going outside. I'm not eating that. I want to eat my cookies. Then eat your fucking cookies. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't lose sleep over people that want to be lazy fat fucks. I don't lose any sleep over it. Sleep like a baby. I'm fine. If you want to trash your body, cool, trash your body. Doesn't affect me in the slightest. Affects my taxes, affects health insurance if I wanted it. But I'll tell you what my health insurance is. It's a couple 45s on the ends of the bar. People spend $500 a month on health insurance and then eat garbage. Because people are retarded. It's just true. Most people are retarded. Joe, people feel better by pretending to want to learn. Bingo. It makes them feel like they're doing something rather than actually doing something. I know I was like that for a long time. This is correct. That's a very good, I say this a lot. I've said this a lot, but that's absolutely correct. And we've come across this before. They want to feel like they want to ask the question. People feel like, and this comes with family, it comes with friends. people want to ask a question and they feel like they did something by asking a question. And they want to hear that you have an answer. They'll smile and nod and then pretend like, and they LARP in their head as if they're gathering information. And they're just like, oh, I'm just getting your opinion on it. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing that. Well, guess what? While they're thinking about taking care of their health, while they're thinking about starting a program, they're continuing to eat garbage and make all the excuses because they're planning on starting. Well, I have this, so I'm going to do it after that. And I'm just gathering information. And I'm thinking about whether I'm going to do this. And they don't do shit. So I just don't have patience for lazy questions. Really, that's the sign. Hey, Papa, how do I get abs? Asked by someone who will never, ever have abs. If you ask me how to get abs, you're never going to have them. Ever. Ever. It's the simplest thing to do. Stop eating garbage. That's it. Lift weights. Stop eating garbage. You'll be fine. Do a few sit-ups now and again. You don't even have to train them to see your fucking abs. So people just want to ask a question. They feel that once they asked, as if that's doing work. And that's the weakness and the bullshit and the softness in our society. It is what it is. Taking some questions. So if you have questions, drop in the comments down below. Steven Mitchell. Is that a mass gainer beverage? Well, I'm all about putting on mass. So anything I drink is a mass gaining beverage. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Nah, mean, bruh. It is cold brew. RDE Freeze, you talk a lot, but I don't see you going to the gym. Yeah, that'd be weird. I don't want you to see me going to the gym because that means you're watching me and you're on my property, which means you're about to get lead poisoning. So that's good. You don't want to see me going to the gym. If you see me going to the gym, I better not see you because that means you're on my property. And Rufus is going to come bite you in the taint. And he's a taint hunter too. So some dogs will go for the balls. He doesn't go for the balls. He'll go under. He'll go under and rip your taint out. Native Americans used to take scalps. He takes taints. He's got a little collection. He's a sick fuck. He's a sicko. A sick man over here. He's a sick man. Ah, Nick. Hashtag myoswolitis. Nick knows. All right. MJ Brown. I eat very clean. I lift heavy, but I hit a plateau. I mean, inches are coming off, clothes fall off, but numbers are not moving. What does that mean? What numbers? You eat clean, you lift heavy, you hit a plateau, inches are coming off. If you're not getting stronger, then you're not building muscle. You mean the scale? Don't get obsessed with the scale. Focus on your performance. Focus on your strength improving. You could build muscle in a deficit around maintenance. You also don't have to be in a crazy deficit. Who knows? Maybe you're glycogen depleted. Maybe your training is off. But that's good. That means you're losing fat, but maybe you're just hitting a plateau with strength training. Remember, you're talking about body fat percentage, not talking about automatic or absolute weight. So the scale doesn't really matter. What matters is what the scale is measuring. So you want more lean mass. All right, that was an older question. I'm going to catch up. Papa Swolio from Val X Lugo. Papa Swolio, your thoughts on paleo diet? Paleo, it's fine. These are just like little cliche names to it, but something that's more animal-based, carnivore, paleo, something along those lines are fine. I would, for most people, especially in the United States, get rid of grains, get rid of seed oils and vegetable oils and high fructose corn syrup and processed foods. Make everything at home. Use butter, tallow, ghee, coconut oil, and focus on meat and fruit primarily. And I think most people will change their lives just with that. It's nutrient density, so don't get over obsessed with the name of the diet. You know, the problem with paleo or even carnivore or whatever name you want to give it is that it puts people in a box like, okay, eat these things. Maybe something in there isn't working for you, and then you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. So you want to make sure that you're not compromising yourself eating something that's causing you an immune reaction. We've noticed just by trial and error that because we give the dogs eggs, he was getting like rashes, and stopped giving him the egg white. And some dogs have issues with egg white, so now he's just getting the yolks. and it hasn't come back. So we're associating the egg white with some kind of like bumps and irritation and rash he was getting all over his belly and stuff like that. So now we just give him the egg yolks and he's totally fine. Unless it pops back, but he hasn't had any egg whites and he hasn't had a return, which is wild. Wild. But that's the thing. So yeah, it's trial and error, even with dogs. Pooches, Papa Swolio, I had someone ask me what's the quickest way to get muscles and abs. And I just laughed and said there's no such thing and laughed. That is funny. I've been saying consistently for 14 years and there is no quick fix. It just saddens me that the general population does not understand how it works. That's why it's general population. Most people, here we go, family, ready? Most people don't understand how most things work. Most people don't know, I guess, anything, right? Most people don't know even just the basic functions of our society. You see that based on how people vote, or you go on X, aka Twitter, and you see how little people know about civics, about how the government works, about how things function. When you know even a little bit more, all of a sudden you see, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's legal. Oh, that's the process. Oh, this. Everyone else just wants to yell and scream and just having a little basic knowledge. And then, but most people don't have that. They're only basing everything off emotion and what they can have right now. So people want things quick. Anytime someone asks you, how do I do this quickly? They are not serious people. Very few things worthwhile can happen quickly. I'm not saying you can't make little tweaks you can make tweaks right away and see progress in terms of psychological progress or energy progress, or you can make small improvements that really move the needle. You can do small things and you can have more or less, hey, I see results right away. The next day I felt better by doing this. Oh, that felt great. Let me do it again. But nothing really happens fast. And change doesn't take time. It takes commitment. So it might take a little while. It might take months or years for those physical changes you want over time, but you can make those changes now. So when people say it takes 21 days, I always hate that. And you guys know, I say this all the time. I don't like the 21 days to set a habit. That's such garbage because people do things for 2, 3, 4 months and then stop. So if it was 21 days to create a habit, then they would never stop the habit. So that's nonsense. It might be 79 days to form a habit and then you stop. So it's not a habit if you stop it. If you start doing something today and never stop, then did it take 21 days? No, you committed and you did it. So it doesn't take time. It takes commitment. So that 21 day bullshit is nonsense. Like either you do it or you don't. You could do it for a year and then stop. Okay. Well, that 21 days didn't really matter, did it? You could do 27 days and stop. You could do 7 days and stop. It's like either you start and you continue and you don't stop, or whatever. Either you stop or you don't, right? You only lose if you quit. If you stop, keep going, try different things, keep pushing forward. Chris, Papa Solio, any cold brew recommendations? I'm limited to Walmart and Aldi's in my state unless I order something from Amazon. Well, I'll make my own cold brew. This is just pre-made. I think this is Chameleon brand or something we get from Whole Foods, just because I wanted to see. We got a bunch of them because I wanted to see if I felt like cold brew again, and I'm enjoying it. So I've made my own. I get like the pitcher and you grind the coffee and you put the water in, you put it in the fridge for like a day, and the next day you have cold brew. It's just the grounds sitting in water, essentially. So you could just put them in the water and then strain them out. But there's pitchers where it has like a tube in the center, like a little filter, and you put the grounds in there and you fill it up with water, and then it soaks and leaches into the water, less acidic and more caffeine. And it's cool. So in the summer, cold brew is great. And I add some raw cream to it and a little bit of water. This is just water, the concentrate. So I fill up a little concentrate, I fill up a little water, a little cream, stir it together, boom, coffee's ready. So I've been liking it because it's hot, and I find it's easier on my stomach, and it's quicker. I don't have to sit there and make a French press and brew it and stuff. I don't mind that. But when it's 85 degrees, cold brew's nice. And it's quick. Is it on my Amazon store? Which part? I need to update the Amazon store. You mean the pictures? I probably have them. I don't know if I added it to the store. The cold brew isn't, because that's local. So Amazon owns Whole Foods, so if I ordered from Whole Foods, it's on Amazon, but it might not be local to you. I'm sure you could probably order it if you want it pre-made, the concentrate. I'm sure you can order it. They'll probably ship it to you if you don't have a Whole Foods nearby for the grocery service. Vaxaluga, how do you sweeten? Do you use erythritol, monk fruit sweetener? I want to eliminate carbs and sugars and fructose. Well, it's not the sugars that's the problem. It's the sucrose that's separated from the fructose or vice versa. But honey, use raw honey. Raw local honey is the best. I don't sweeten things. So raw local honey or high quality like maple syrup or some good things to sweeten. I don't sweeten my coffee though. That's disgusting. Sweet coffee is, I'm open to like deportations for people that sweeten their coffee. Sorry, Cubans. But it's true. And people say I'm a psychopath for not listening to music when I train. Well, I think you're a psychopath for putting sweetener in your coffee. I feel like that should be some sort of capital offense. Or at least lashings or like some like in the stockades, like you should be. I feel like if you put sweetener in coffee, you should be in one of those stocks, you go back to like the 1700s, right? You put the head and their arms through, and then people can come by and like tickle your taint with a feather or something like that. You pay like 25 cents, get a feather and be like, hee, tickle your feet or tickle your taint. Or like take a big paddle, You should probably have some sort of public humiliation. I'm not saying actual physical problems, but I feel like there should be some sort of public shaming for putting sweetener in coffee. Someone's like, everyone's afraid to say it, but I kind of like sweet coffee. I'll tell you what, you got a high quality cream, you do not need sweet coffee. Black coffee is great. I like black coffee. But I also love, Michelle, you don't even like coffee? So what does that make me? Oof. You're one of those. I don't even like coffee. Wow.
You lose.
All right. Let's settle down, everyone. Everyone's all the SwoleFam, all the SwoleFam and people on like Instagram are like, the fuck you say? The fuck you say, man? Yeah, coffee. Fuck said that. Who the fuck said that? It's like the old Seinfeld where he's wearing the ribbon. Who does not want to wear the ribbon? Yeah. Everyone's kind of, who the fuck said that? Who the fuck said that? Stand up. I don't like coffee either. I drink it just for the function. Of course we do. What are you talking about? Everyone drinks it for the function. And I like the function, so I like coffee. It's delicious. It's delicious. Chris apologizes for starting this. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Matt Damon.
It's fine.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
It's fine. Settle down, fam. Settle down. Everyone's just like, fucking. I know he's making coffee. He's making them at night. I know he makes coffee at night. All right, let's see. David Gonzo official. In my 30s now and still in the gym. Good for you. Anything you recommend for supplements other than creatine and whey? Creatine's great. Electrolytes are great. Magnesium, which is part of electrolyte blend, but magnesium, vitamin D and K2 and stuff like that. If you're eating a lot of beef, you probably don't need the K2, but that's good too. Take them together. There's a lot of products that do that. So vitamin D, magnesium, creatine, depending on if you have leaky gut and stuff like that. Glutamine can be effective. So I usually mix in glutamine with my electrolytes because I have a big tub of it. Then I feel good taking it. I don't know if anyone's personal experience with glutamine, but I find it beneficial, or at least a net positive. So Those are some recommendations. And beef liver. Juan D. I have a rotator cuff injury in my shoulder. What exercise can I do? As long as you're medically clear, dead hangs. And depending on what the injury is, dead hangs, doing things like floor cobras, external rotations with abduction and adduction with a band or dumbbells, floor cobras, prone presses, dead hangs. Valix Lugo, magnesium and potassium at night, or when do you take it? I don't take potassium at night, but I take magnesium glycinate before bed. I prefer magnesium glycinate. That's my magnesium of choice. Mark says, I used to douse the shit out of my coffee with sugar. Those flavored creamers. Ooh, so much better black. Oh, those flavored, what, the hazelnut, like the Coffee Mate ones? Oh my God. Oh my God. I just threw up my mouth a little bit. Well, Mark says I started adding ghee to my coffee. It's not bad, kind of buttery and cuts the bitterness a bit. If your coffee's a little bitter, you add a little salt and that'll tone it down. Cold brew is less acidic, but that's why people put butter in their coffee. This is raw cream. Where do you think butter comes from? Butter comes from cream. So raw cream is great. I mean, people think that they have to put something sweet in there. Look, I put raw cream in coffee and it tastes sweet. Like it makes it smooth. Once you go swole, you don't go back. Ain't that the truth? Any advice from Built Ford Tough 97? Any advice on muscle imbalance? Yeah, switch hands when you jerk. Don't keep beating with one hand. Switch. It's good to be dynamic. You know, you don't want to get tendonitis. Just my take on it. You want to be more specific, you could drop your follow-ups, comments. Or you could do the tomahawk and just do double hand, and then it's good for the lats too. Depending on how big it is. Too soon? I'm not a man. Well, Well, still, you still want to switch hands. Ladies, am I right? You switch hands. I'm not a man. Well, just identify as one for this live stream. It depends on what the muscle imbalance is. So if it's like one arm or one leg, do single arm or single leg exercise and do the weaker one first. Cerny says, I'm not touching that one. That's what she said. Thank you, Cerny. Aaron says, sometimes I tell the baristas that I like my coffee African American. And they either look at me sideways or laugh. So what do they do? I like my coffee with chains. I want some reparations with my coffee. Here's your coffee. Here's your cream. And here's your 40 acres and a mule. Okay. Okay, we're moving on. See why we can't go live on TikTok? How come I got flagged on TikTok? Proceeds to prove why we get flagged on TikTok. I wasn't live on TikTok yet. I wasn't live. I didn't say anything officially yet. No, they're going to cancel live. It's funny. Laugh. Make some gains. Everyone can chill out. Chill out. If anyone cancels, you don't want to be here anyway. I want my... Yeah. Tiff says, I want my coffee oppressed. Okay. Hog Wild. Papa Solio fucked my back. How? Hog Wild is doing back shots over here. Solo. I'm impressed. That's flexible. All right. Too much too soon. All right. Fucked my back up and waiting to heal before easing my way into lifting. Should I still include creatine into my protein shake while I'm healing up? I would. If I had an injury and I couldn't do a training or something like that, I would still take creatine. I would take it every day. That's what I would do. I would take creatine every day. Unless there's a specific reason, I'm telling you, unless you have a specific reason from a doctor saying, hey, based on these tests, and you can still make your own choice, it's your body. But if you have like a medical professional that's saying you should not be taking creatine, then don't take creatine. But until further notice, like I'm always going to take creatine. Sheena, last week, Papa Swolio, while coming up out of a front-loaded squat, I effed up my sacroiliac joint in my low back. Any particular mobility exercise you recommend? Well, how'd you F it up? How do you F up your SI joint? Well, I guess by having pain there. So you're rounding too far forward and you got like tweaked because you were getting fatigued and you were like slouching forward kind of thing. I would look up like yin, check out the yoga studio and check out like any of the yin with like hips and twists. Something with like hips and twists or like lower back or something with spine. I would go through the yin classes and do a search on the app and check out the yin stuff. Something with hips related, hips or spine. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. Nick, Papa Swolio, someday will Swole Gear include of the old school bodybuilder rag top oversized t-shirts? Rag top? You mean like the oversized, like the pump covers we have? What do you mean? Dude, check out the pump covers. Those are oversized. They go well with American flag pants. That's my new jam. I always love those American flag pants, but the oversized bulk tees are my jam. People are asking if Sheena was going too hard in the paint.
Because emotional damage.
The SwoleFam has no chill. The SwoleFam has absolutely no chill. I was like, maybe you were plowing. That's what we're all thinking, though. Front squats. I injured my back doing front squats. Nick, wait, there are pump covers. How'd I miss that?
Matt Damon.
Jesus Christ. Nick, the fuck? All right, now we got to bring it up. You never seen you didn't see the oversized. Let's go for new releases. If you're watching on Instagram, you can come on over to Rumble or YouTube if you want to see everything else on the show. There's a lot going on over here. You're just seeing the phone. So right here, the Cybertruck, the big Swolenormous, and the GTTFG. Where's the... Wait. View collection. Oh, so here's the oversized. This is one style of it, the oversized tees. So these are like super bulky, oversized bulk tees. And there's a lot of different combinations, and there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of different. If you want to see, what it looks like, I mean, I've posted a couple videos. It's what I'm wearing in my latest training videos, like in the master classes. And in some of like the latest training mashup videos, I'm wearing the oversized. Do I have one here? I'm wearing the oversized tees, and the ones I'm wearing in the videos are an XL. So, and they're great. They're great, thick, great for sweating. It doesn't get wet and soaked. Yeah, thank you, Pam. Got one. It's super nice. Love it. I'm glad you like it. I love that shit. I love it. The last signature series that'll be going out soon was an oversized tee design. Yeah, I like the baggy look. It's super comfortable too. So I wear the XL and it's great. And what I like about it, I mean, these shirts are great. Right now I got the Gym City 2000. This is like the standard 100% cotton. Some of the designs, like the Heather, might be a poly blend. But, this, obviously, like these shirts, you sweat, you're going to sweat through the shirt. It's just like a cotton shirt. So, if you sweat a lot, in the gym, this might be wet. Like if I go outside and I wear this outside, it's going to be like a dark blue. It's going to be completely wet, right? So the other ones aren't. They might be a little bit wet here and there, but it's thick. So when I'm on the machines, it doesn't slide. It's comfortable. I don't sweat through it. All right. Phoenix says glutamine has been a big help for my gut health. Yeah, glutamine is good for the gut. Bone broth, glutamine. So I take it with my electrolytes. Usually first thing in the morning when I have it with my shake, I put in 40 grams of protein, electrolytes, creatine, glutamine. And then if I'm training, I'll put electrolytes, sometimes some creatine and glutamine in water. And I just sip that during my workout. Pedro, Papa Swolio, Papi Swolio, muy caliente. Gracias, chico, gracias. Y tú también, Pedro. Okay. Papa Swolio, have you ever broken a finger? If so, how long did it take to heal? I never have. Knock on wood. Knock on taint. I've never broken a finger. I find that that's actually pretty, with how active my life has been, pretty impressive, to be honest. I'm thinking about it. I've never broken a bone. That's probably, any of you never broken a bone before? Come to think of it, that's pretty interesting. With all the sports I've played, snowboarding, baseball, basketball, soccer, fucking rollerblading, jumping off staircases and railings and stuff, skateboarding, heavy lifting, never broken a bone. I've had tendonitis and, knee swelling or elbow pain. I've had joint stuff, but I've never broken a bone. Never broken a bone. I mean, I've had muscle, a bit like rotator cuff or things just from lifting and never broken a bone. I'm also glad I was really aggressive when it came to icing my arm when I was playing baseball through my whole life. It's so sketchy when you're younger and you're pitching, because I was pitching a lot when I was younger, but I was always aggressively icing, like bucket of water, icing and using, whether that was good or bad at the time, but I was always trying to be mindful of joint pain and stuff in the future, because you could really fuck up your arm and your shoulder and rotator cuff if you're not training properly. But this was also before you were doing all these strengthening exercises, at the teenage level. Nowadays, there's all these different strategies in strengthening, and performance has improved a lot because the sports science is more popular and there's more technology and more awareness of strength training and nutrition and pre and post sports or exercise routines and things like that. Yeah, Mess says, I've played sports all my life, broke my foot once falling off my bed and landing on a barbell. I know, you're super active all the time, never had an injury, and then you kick a door frame and break your toe. I've really fucked up my toe. There's one time where it's got to be it had to have been as close to breaking a bone as possible. Meaning it's hard to imagine that it wasn't broken. I don't want to go through the whole story, but I literally I was wearing my Vibrams trail running, and I clipped it on a root, my pinky, when I was running, lifting over, because I had to jump over something, my pinky, boom, straight out to the side. And I saw stars. And the next lap in the woods, I just kept on running. I'm like, fuck it, I'm already doing it. Just ignore it. I clipped it again, the same fucking toe. You're looking at the root, jump over it, don't clip, don't clip, don't clip. What happens? You fucking clip. It's like with a motorcycle. If you're changing lanes, you're avoiding something, don't look at what you're avoiding, because you're going to try to avoid it, look right at it, and then hit it. So I mean, my toe was like this for a while. And I went to get an x-ray and it wasn't broken. It was just severely sprained and out to the side. I also had stress fractures in my foot, but nothing broken. It was bad. But never technically broken, cast, all that stuff. Never. 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 Papa, we need the toxic musculaire and the oversized shirts. Oh, done. Yeah, we're looking to add new designs. Wait, hey. I'll do it now. Yeah, we'll do that now. So we were just having the Swolenormous and the GTTFG, but that's another good one. We're going to do only select designs and select styles and select things with the bulk oversized. We're not going to do every single design with it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good recommendation. That's a good one. That's a good one. We had just launched the 2 different styles and then some different color options a week or so ago. So we'll do that one too. Okay, let's continue. Any last chance questions? If you're watching on Instagram, make sure you follow the page, click the link in the bio, and continue to watch the show over on Rumble or YouTube. It's the Daily Swole Podcast. You could also subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So the show's continuing. We're just shutting off the live on Instagram right now. So come on over. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. What about the vegan tiers one? Maybe we'll make a different style. Maybe we'll make a different style for the vegan tiers. All right. Let's get into some current events and news. I don't know how many of you watched the Trump congressional address for last night, but it was fire. We'll get into a couple of videos and we can talk about and answer some questions or opinions if you want me to have them or if you want me to voice them. So let's go over a couple things on my feed. And I quote tweeted something from Zuby, who said, it's easy to advocate for wars that you're not going to fight. So I said, any politician voting for war should have to serve on the front lines, including his or her entire family. I think that's reasonable. If you're going to vote for war, then you, your wife, your kids, everyone should be on the front lines. Maybe not your 5-year-old. Okay, fine. But you and everyone you care about should have to go on the front lines. So then they can hate you and maybe you're less likely to make a stupid fucking choice. I think it's fair. Brett Weinstein says the gulf that's developing over Ukraine feels unnatural. It's like when the COVID shots emerged and it was instantly taboo to discuss risks. This is the next mass formation. I bet it was planned to divide us. People don't suddenly forget how to think. They're induced to. So I said, Ukraine has always been a scam. All the flags and the bios are back now that the trans garbage has failed. So this is the way Ukraine was before. It's just the latest thing and it's still there. And again, anything that is against Trump, anything that would hurt Trump, anything that is the opposite of what Trump is going to do, the Democrats are going to move against. They wouldn't even stand up and clap when Trump was honoring a 13-year-old boy that beat brain cancer. Like, it was sick. They just sat there. They're children. They're part of a cult. They don't care. They don't care about the country. Anything that's beneficial for the country, they don't care. They hate you. They hate the country. They objectively hate the country. They do. You cannot make an argument otherwise. It does not fly. It does not fly. So anyway, Ukraine is bullshit. It's a super corrupt country. It's always been a scam. It's always been because of NATO. And don't forget, the Democrats are the war machine. Okay? They're right on board with the military-industrial complex. They want more wars. They want more funding. They want to steal and launder more money. That's what they do. And that's why the Biden administration escalated that conflict. It's because they were smuggling money through Ukraine. We all know it. We all know why. His son was on the board of Burisma. We know that there were bioweapon labs and all this kind of stuff. I bet you it was literally hush money. It was under the table. It was just a circle-jerking grift. And they're pissed off that Trump is rooting it all out. You have the receipts. You have the data. Okay. Dan Go said, instead of fluoride, just give you a little summary, some funny things I was been shit posting on Twitter. Make tap water great again. He said, instead of fluoride, they should put creatine in our water supply. So I said, make tap water great again. Wouldn't that be great? I drink tap water if I had creatine. Save us on supplements. Put that shit in there, fam. All right, we got a bunch of Canadians here. So I saw this. Ian Bremer said, cartoon of the day. And I guess there's some like faux fighting, like, oh, USA versus Canada. Everyone's like, USA is so mean to Canada. Look, a lot of countries need the United States, so you can kick and scream all you want, but we all know that the United States essentially subsidizes Canada, which is fine. We like Canadians. I like Canadians. And again, understand, I hate the fucking federal government. I hate the fucking government. I appreciate we have people in there that are uprooting all the garbage, but I'm not a fan of the government. I'm not a fan of the Canadian government. It's an absolute disaster. Canadian government sucks. I like Canadians, but Canada sucks. And when I say Canada, I'm talking about the bureaucracy. Don't tell me that Canada doesn't have a bureaucracy. So I like Canadians. We have a lot of Canadians watching live, all in favor. I'm a big fan. But we're talking about the governments here. It's like, they're all a bunch of fucktards. So this cartoon of the day is showing a plank of USA kicking Canada. And they're both on a plank, on a crossbeam. So in other words, if the USA kicks Canada off, they're going to fall. So I said, I thought this was kind of stupid because I said the USA kicks the guy as he steps forward, thus standing in the middle of the beam and then being totally fine.
Matt Damon.
So I guess the idea here is the USA is going to kick Canada off and then fall backwards because, oh, you're stupid. You're going to fuck over Canada and fuck over yourself as a result. No, you kick. And then as the person falls forward, you step forward and then USA is fine and Canada falls to the ground. So we'll be fine. And then we're standing if you stand on the middle of the beam on the fulcrum, like you're fine. You're not going to fall. So yeah, we'll be totally fine. That's what that cartoon shows me is that, yeah, nothing's going to happen except Canada's going to go skydiving based on that cartoon. But I'm not anti-Canadian. And there's a big difference. Canadians don't hate Americans as far as I'm aware. There's a lot of super base Canadians. So it's not the people. It's not the people. It's the government. It's the bureaucracy. All right. So I said the Democrats didn't stand up or clap for a 13-year-old kid that survived brain cancer. That is a cult. No matter what Trump says or does, they just hate. And that's absolute fucking facts. That's absolute facts. It was really cute. 13-year-old kid, brain cancer, and he had like honorary like police officer and different, they gave him an honorary Secret Service badge and stuff like that. It was, the kid had, it was just a good moment. It was a good moment. Of course it's a stage and of course it's a presentation, but Trump actually gives a shit about a lot of the people, a lot of the things. He remembers people's names. He knows their stories. And yeah, he's reading off a prompter and this, that, and the other. But he remembers, like if you talk to anyone who engages with Trump and has like personal relationships or has like met him, like he's very attentive. He remembers people. He listens and he pays attention and he has one of those brains that just remembers shit. And, it's great to watch and it's a nice change. At least he didn't try to like sniff anyone. Biden be up there like, it's great to be able to understand what someone fucking says again and for have them actually prioritize the country that they're the president of. Shocker. So let's watch this. Let's watch this clip. If you missed it, this is him pretty much saying like, no matter what the fuck, and I love it. He put the Democrats on blast in the best possible way. He was saying like, no matter what I do, all these people are going to hate and no matter what I do. And he's absolutely correct. And that's why we call the left and the Democrats a cult. They'll call the right a cult. And like, yeah, you're going to have people that are really fervently in favor of Donald Trump. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump does. I think that'd be insane to agree with everything someone does. I agree. I'm in favor of him being in charge and doing what he's doing. You take the good with the bad, and there's much more good than there is bad. And that's just my opinion on it. I don't have to agree with everything to support him. But with the Democrats, like you have people that are actively fighting against and like retaliating against common sense and logic. We're talking about the most basic fucking things, like being a decent person, men not playing in women's sports, putting a border on your country and not allowing criminals and rapists and murderers to enter. This is not rocket science. It's just the basic fundamentals. I close my door and I lock it and I turn my alarm on. Since living in this house, I have never had anyone try to break into the house. Yet I turn my alarm on and I lock my door every night. And I have a big dog that would rip off someone's sack if they come in. And I have firearms so I can literally blow them into the next realm if they do so. It's just logic and common sense. It's close the fucking door. Do you lock your car? Probably. If you live in the woods, I know. I grew up in places where you leave your door unlocked. No joke. You would leave your front door unlocked. Like, no one's going to come out here. No one's going to get in. Doesn't mean you should. But I've lived in the woods and some people leave their doors unlocked. Not smart, but you could still do it and probably be fine in some places. Don't do that. But I'm just saying. Let's play this.
This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Look at those cocks. Look at them with their little faggy signs. Do you guys know what it said? Some of them said Musk steals. Imagine going to them like, Musk steals. Oh, he steals. Oh, you have a sign. That's the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. Your little Musk steal. What does Musk steal? What does he steal? What does he steal? He's got like $300 billion. Like, what does he need to steal? What's he stealing? What's he stealing? Someone tell me what's he stealing. And then you have idiots. Let me finish this if there's anything else. Look at Nancy Pelosi, still alive. Impressive. Then you have people like Bernie Sanders or anyone else, right? So Trump was going through saying how like there are people in the social security system that are like 100 years old to 110. And then, 3 million people from 110 to 120. And then another 1.8 from 120 to 130. And there's a person that's 360 years old. And Bernie Sanders, people like this, there's no one that's that old. They're not getting checks. That's ridiculous. There's no one that's 200 years old that's getting checks. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, Bernie, are you serious, dude? Yeah, no shit. There's no one that's collecting 200 fucking years old. But guess what? Someone else that's alive is collecting the money. It's called Social Security fraud, and it's very, very prevalent. So in other words, you find someone or you have someone or someone passes away and their mail still shows up and you just collect it and it's never canceled. And they just keep on cashing the checks. That's how it works. That's how it fucking works. As if there's someone who's 150 years old out there or claiming to be. They're just collecting, they're just picking up the person's checks. Maybe they live in a house or they moved into an apartment and the checks are still showing up. They're like, okay, they never told them to stop and they just get a check every month. Cool. And they cash it. Or go to a check cashing place or whatever the fuck it is. There's no one that's 200 million years old. That's a lie. That's an absolute categorical lie. Okay, dude.
The media.
Sorry. Okay, let's play this one. I tweeted this. I said 100%. I forget exactly what this is, but let's play it.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. The media and our friends in the
Oh, it was fucking hilarious. It was hilarious. It was so funny. Remember the one where he said for sedentary migrants, he's like $38 billion for sedentary migrants. He goes, no one knows what that is. And he's talking about something where sending money to African country. He goes where no one knows where that is. Let me see. Let me find that. I was trying to find it and share it before. I'm sure I could look it up. Trump speech waste spending. I typed it wrong. It's probably going to come up.
Conclusion of sedentary.
There we go. Yeah.
$40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion.
Sorry.
To improve the social and $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million.
Jesus Christ. Look, again, people are going to be like, I don't like him. I don't like it. He's fucking hilarious. Now, I don't support him because he's hilarious, but he's just hilarious. He always has been that way. He's always been funny and ironically funny. He's been like that for a long time. That's why the left used to love him, because he was a Democrat. He was a, classic Democrat from New York. From New York. I grew up with this guy. I was born in New York City, grew up in Connecticut. Trump was a standard growing up. It was just Trump was the big dude. He was the big real estate mogul, Trump on everything. He was super popular in movies, Home Alone and stuff like that, and The Apprentice. So he was just, everyone loved him because he's a charismatic guy, objectively. And he's also fucking hilarious. But the reason why this is hilarious is because that shit is fucking real. Let's go back to the beginning. How much money that was. You guys know how much money that was? Listen again.
$40 million to
$40 million to that stupid shit.
To promote LGBTQ. $8 million.
So that's $40 million and then $8 million. Hey, fam, could any of you use $8 million right now? $40 million? Like, obviously, if you distribute that amongst the Americans, it might be like a couple bucks, but think about that. I've paid taxes my entire life. My business gets fucking anally raped with taxes. You own a business, you hate taxes because you ain't getting money back at the end of the year if you own a business. You're not getting money back. If you have a W-2, you might get some money back, right? Social Security, they steal it from you and then they tax it and then they bleed out. Oh, we're not going to have any more. They give it to illegal fucking immigrants and illegal migrants, illegal aliens, criminals. Like, it's insulting. And I'm telling you, if you're not pissed, I'm not saying you have to walk around with high blood pressure and your heart rate at like 120, but if you're not absolutely furious, pissed off, then you're not alive or you're retarded. You should be fucking furious. That's your money being stolen. I've never paid my entire life, I've never paid $40 million in taxes. That'd be awesome. I mean, that means I would be like fucking 100 mega millionaire if I paid that much in taxes. So in other words, that's probably who knows how many times more than I've paid in my entire life for taxes. For sedentary migrants or whatever, like no one knows what that is. Yeah, no one does. I bet you they look through the paperwork, they don't even know what that is. It's some NGO that just gets $40 million. And some of this shit's a month. Some of this shit is every month they get millions or billions of dollars a month. They just never cancel these things. $8 million for lesbian, gay, and trans shit in, where do you say, La Hosha? I don't know what the fuck that is. No one does. He was right. No one's ever heard of that country. Why are we sending money there? My money, your money. $8 million. I haven't paid $8 million in taxes. I could use all the money I paid in taxes. I could have used that for my future generations. I could have used that for my business. I could use that to buy food. I could use that to buy a house. That'd be great. I'd love it. Where's my money back, please? Taxes should be canceled for the next fucking decade. As an apology, sorry to all the Americans, we bled you dry. Here, keep your fucking money that you worked for. Why am I sending money to the government when they're going to send it overseas? and they're in debt. So in other words, it's not even paying off anything. It's not, hey, we shouldn't be spending this money, and we're, it's no, we're printing more, devalue my money. So not only are they shipping my tax money overseas, they're printing more money to send overseas, and now they're stealing from me at the grocery store because now my eggs are 3 times as expensive, my steak is twice as expensive, and my rent, and your mortgages go up, and the mortgage rates go up, and you can't buy a fucking car because a new goddamn Corolla is 40 grand. So I'm pissed off. And if you're not pissed off, you don't have a pulse, you're retarded, or you're in favor of evil. It's theft, and I'm pissed off about it. And you should be pissed off too. It's fucked up and it's sick. It's really sick. These people are fucking sick. And when I say these people, I mean the Democrats. And I'm not just saying like, oh my God, you're being so extreme. No. If you listen to that speech, you don't have to like the jokes. Oh my God, he said something mean on X once. Oh, fine. You don't have to like his whole entire personality. Do you agree that we should have a border where rapists and criminals don't cross? Yeah. Do you think we should get out of these global organizations where we're footing the bill and getting no benefit? Yeah. Do you think we should bring manufacturing back to the United States? Yeah. There's some great news in that. We have that, the Taiwanese, that super chip, like we're going to build the biggest plant in the world in the United States. People don't realize how fucking important that is. How important it is to bring that kind of stuff to the United States before China invades Taiwan or whatever. Like bring that essential stuff to the United States. Made by Americans. Like people don't realize how many jobs a super chip computer, factory is. You're talking tens of thousands of jobs. So yeah, you're going to have experts and people that are in the lab with like the suits, and like, you're going to have people that really know their shit, experts in that. But then you have people that, you have janitors, you have people that do the shipping, you have people that maybe there's a place where everyone parks their car and they bus people to the factory. And then you have people that are bus drivers. You have people that cater, that do the food, that do the lighting, that do the energy, that deliver fuel, that do tours, that do there are a lot of jobs that get created. And then all the housing in that local area, building new housing, building new this, building new gyms, building new supermarkets and new infrastructure in an area that's going to bring a lot of value to that state or to that city. A lot of wealth, more airports, more flights to that airport, just more flourishing. It's a lot of fucking jobs, not just a few people that are elites, that are really skilled at making supercomputer chips. There are very few people that do that. All the people that are physically going to monitor and maintain the machines and oil the machines and grease the machines and repair, build out concrete and buildings. And it's just a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. It's been good versus evil this whole time. And I don't know what people are watching. If you're not on X, you're not getting news. And if you look again at that and you're trying to nitpick at things that he said that were maybe not 100%, he was bloviating and being a little hyperbolic. That's what Trump does. He's like, second or whatever, to George Washington. He makes little jokes and everyone's like, okay, roll their eyes, laugh and move on. He's not that's just the way he is. He's a showman, which is fine. He's also a businessman and he knows what he's doing. He's doing a great job. Let the man cook. Let the fucking man cook. America, fuck yeah! Let him cook. All right, we got to wrap up. I know we didn't do any videos. We truth the facts. Let's see what we got here. Do we got a couple of videos? Let's see. I don't want to do this. Obese child and fat people at the airport. I don't really care about that stuff. We went long. We talked about more important shit. I don't care about these videos too. Yeah, but it's people that can't separate that, They can't separate the fact that, yeah, Trump is going to say things in an extreme manner. It's like what I do. I'm not comparing myself to Trump, but when I'm like, go to the fucking gym, no days off, go to the fucking gym. Okay, you get granular, we have a conversation. Yeah, you wanted recovery is important, this, that, and the other. I'm making a general statement. You guys aren't idiots. You understand, yeah, I'm being hyperbolic. I'm exaggerating for an effect. literally don't lift heavy weights and go to the gym every day and burn yourself into the ground and eat a fucking steak, lift, sleep, repeat. Ooh, you don't eat anything else but just steak? Like, you have to be literally incapacitated. You have to literally have like a sub 50 IQ. And I think what we're realizing is a lot of people do. It just is. A lot of people are absolutely fucking brain dead. And one thing that really just, I think is humbling, maybe a little frightening, unnerving, is when you look at the brainwashing. You look at the fact that they didn't clap for anything that's just logically common sense, that's realistic. They act like they act like the Democrats. They act like they're in the majority. They act like they're still in control. They're the sore losers that can't figure it out. And they're doubling down. That's the crazy part. They're doubling down. If they continue, they're never going to win another election. Do you think that people are going to vote for open borders in 3 years or in the midterms? You think people are going to vote for open borders? You don't think some of these people are going to get voted out? All these Democrats, like these Congress and Senate, whatever is in the midterms, they're going to get voted out. People are paying attention. And Trump won because, the legacy media is dead. No one's paying attention to that. People are watching things on X. They're watching Tucker Carlson and Tim Pool and all these different shows. They're watching these other shows that get many, like Dan Bongino, hundreds of thousands of people. People don't realize how many viewers people like Dan Bongino is getting. He gets like 100 or 150,000 viewers live. That's insane. That's insane. There's a lot of people, and people are paying attention, and they're seeing these clips. They're sharing these videos. So to continue to dig your heels in, you have to really be like, okay, these people if you're still with the Democrats, you're either evil, willfully ignorant, like you literally only watch MSNBC and CNN and you buy it hook, line, and sinker. Like you haven't learned anything. Evil, ignorant, or retarded. Usually a combination of all three. Because there are people that I know that are just anything that it's their complete cult. They don't want real information. They don't go on X. They're not aware of the actual news. So you can't argue or have a conversation with someone that doesn't actually know the facts that you're talking about. They'll see a clip or they'll share a clip and they'll clip off the entire and then be like, this is it. They don't watch the whole thing. And then you show them the whole thing and they're like, you can't have a conversation with people. And it's one thing, look, I am okay with someone having a differing opinion. I don't care. That's fine. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. But what's important is that we are talking about the same facts. You can't make up your own facts. There's no your facts. There's no your truth. It's like, what happened? You can have an opinion on it, but do we agree what happened? Okay? Like, do we agree on the literal facts of the situation? And then you have to ask yourself, why are you for open borders? Explain why having no borders is a good thing. Please tell me why that's a good thing. And then you just get anger. You get lashing out. You get Trump is a fascist or a Nazi. You don't get any information because there is no argument for it. What is the argument for open borders aside from I want this country to burn to the ground? I want innocent girls and women to be raped and murdered. Why? What's your argument for men with mental illness to play against women in female sports? Why should men be playing against women's volleyball and like spiking balls in girls' faces? Why should they be wrecking girls in basketball? Why should they be, beating girls by like 5 seconds in like a 100-meter dash? Like, what are we doing here? It's just insane. There's no argument for it aside from deconstructionism, breaking down a system, destruction. It's just cultural destruction. There's no argument aside from cultural destruction, and they hate this country. They're always the ones like, America is racist, America is this. These are Congress people. Like, you have these ghetto-ass congresswomen. Like, what is it? Her name's Crockett. Like, what a thug. She's an ignorant idiot. I don't know who's voting for these fucking morons, but they hate the country. We have people in our government that hate the country that they're serving, and they hate the people that they serve. How do I know this? Because they say it, and their actions all map to it. So again, you can say whatever you want about what Trump says or how he says, oh, your feelings. What are the actions? Stronger borders, American manufacturing, more pressure on other countries to pay their fair share and to step up and deal with international issues, pulling out of foreign conflicts, less war, less death, more prosperity for Americans. Like, where is the problem? Where's the problem? Oh, we're going to deport criminals. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, we're getting rid of criminals and rapists. Oh no. Oh, but the rapists. Oh, but their feelings. Zero fucks. Put them under the jail. Put them on an island. Like No Escape, Ray Liotta. Just put them on a fucking island with a few handguns. Let them figure it out. Don't care. Don't care. Just don't care. And I said this yesterday. I think it was yesterday's episode. It's so much easier to destroy. It's easier to destroy. It's easier to complain. It's easier to make excuses, right? Think about it with training. Easy to make excuses, easier to talk, easier, right? We talked about it earlier. It's easier to ask questions and not do anything and feel like you did something. They just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Oh, my feelings, oh, this or this. And oh my God, he said something mean. And they just talk about shit, but they don't do anything. What are the actual facts? What actually is happening? What's the reality? I don't care how Trump says it. I don't give a shit. He's going to leverage. He's going to say shit in front of cameras to put people on blast to get things done. He's a deal maker. He puts Zelensky on blast because he got out of pocket. And Trump put him on blast. And guess what? He's embarrassed. And he embarrassed himself in front of everyone. And then he's like conceding like, okay, we're going to come to the table. That's called negotiating. And Trump knows how to do it. He knows how to get leverage. Like, you're going to tariff us. We're going to tariff you right back. You want to be like, oh, fuck the United States. Well, fuck you right back. Whatever you do, we're going to do. Now what? And other countries can't handle. They can't afford it the way we can. And they're going to succumb to it. And they're going to take a knee. Fine. Good. Good. America first. That's it. America first. First. That doesn't mean hate everyone and burn the world down. No, it means let's figure out what's going on in our house first. You're going to tell someone else that their house is dirty. You should clean it. And you live in a pigsty? Fuck you. Clean your own house. It's like me giving you fitness advice if I don't train or I trash myself. You're not going to listen to me. I'm a hypocrite. Exactly. Exactly. So, fuck these liberal Democrats. Like, they're criminals. They're evil. And I'm telling you, it's less acceptable. Look, you can have your own beliefs, but let me make this clear. It's becoming less and less excusable to be this ignorant. Okay? Because if you lay it out like that and you're against what I just said, you're against borders, you're against all those things, you do realize how fucked up that is, right? You're not in favor. You're not going to stand up and clap for a 13-year-old kid that survived brain cancer. Yeah, you're a sick person. You're a sick fucking person. All they had to do, they had to stand up. They could just like clap. Like, good, the kid survived. I don't support Trump, but it's just, they're not good people. They're fundamentally not good people. You know, what's the excuse? What's the reason? You can't, it's becoming less and less, you're not able to explain that away anymore. You know what I mean? You can't say, I don't have the information or I don't know. Like, it's so easy to find the information. You're just blocking it out. Like, you don't care. All right, let's go. Let's give it away. Hashtag GTTFG. Let's give away the Swole card. Thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow for 3226. All right, we got a winner, Mr. Pitman 71.
Congratulations!
Mr. Pittman. Mr. Pittman. Mr. Pittman. Pittman 71. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolemers.com. Swolecard 3225 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Fam, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow. Chocolate Design says Democrats hate women and minorities. History will show that they are the party hurting people the most. Oh, yeah, already has. Already has. Republicans freed the slaves. Democrats founded the KKK. Like, these things are just, it's just history, right? The great grift of we are for the working class. We're for equality. We're for DI. No, it's power. It's Marxism. It's communism. It's leverage. It's all about power. This is where it's coming out. That's what I'm saying. You're seeing people say and do anything. That's what that quote or that video he played with Trump. That's what he's saying. No matter what I do, no matter what success I have, they're going to hate it and they're going to talk shit. It doesn't matter what I do. So guess what? Where he is now, second term, he doesn't give a shit. No matter what, and this is what I always say, no matter what you do, people are going to talk shit. So do your thing anyway. They're going to hate it no matter what. Your family, your friends, people, they're not happy with themselves. They hate themselves. They want to see the world burn. Fine. People are going to disagree and hate on your shit anyway. So do what you want. Don't worry about what other people think because they're going to hate on whatever you do anyway. So do your fucking thing. Do your fucking thing. Thanks for being here, Beaches. We'll see you tomorrow. Join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. Subscribe, like the show, share with your friends. Hope you enjoyed the good ranting. Thanks for being here. Go watch the speech last night if you missed it. It's a long one, but if you have a long drive, check that out. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint shit. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollie.